Vamos a hablar sobre este tema. Como pueden ver en el título de esta noticia, el fiscal general Merrick Garland testifica ante el Comité Judicial de la Cámara de Representantes ante el mal manejo de documentos clasificados y sobre los audios que ellos retienen de la entrevista a puerta cerrada del fiscal especial Robert Hur con el presidente Joe Biden. El fiscal general Merrick Garland testificará hoy, ya está testificando, ante el Comité Judicial de la Cámara de Representantes liderado por el Partido Republicano como parte de su audiencia de supervisión anual. La audiencia se produce unas semanas después de que un par de comités de la Cámara de Representantes liderado por los republicanos votaran a favor de avanzar en el proceso de desacato contra Merrick Garland por su negativa a entregar las grabaciones de audio de la entrevista al presidente Joe Biden con el fiscal Robert Hur. Me parece muy interesante esta información porque hace unos días también se declaró que hubo una manipulación de la transcripción y los audios de la entrevista que tuvo Joe Biden con el fiscal Robert Hur, el fiscal especial designado por Merrick Garland, sobre el mal manejo de documentos clasificados. Joe Biden tampoco va a ser enjuiciado en el sistema judicial porque es muy anciano. El único pretexto de que no va a ser encarcelado es porque es muy anciano, es muy viejo y es una de las razones de por qué no va a enfrentar la cárcel. Pero Donald Trump sí por el mal manejo de documentos clasificados en Mar-a-Lago, supuestamente. Entonces, aquí pueden observar que el sistema de justicia se está clasificando en dos niveles. Si eres republicano, serás tratado de otra manera. Ahora, Matt Gaetz, este legislador republicano del estado de Florida, dice lo siguiente. ¿Por qué Merrick Garland se niega a decir si su oficina está coordinando con Alvin Bragg, Fannie Willis y Letitia James sobre el caso de Manhattan? Miren esto, señores, que me parece muy, muy interesante. Él dice lo siguiente.
The Office of Attorney General, you've told us that it's a dangerous conspiracy theory.
Fiscal general, usted nos dijo a nosotros que es peligroso una teoría de conspiración,
To allege that the Department of Justice
alegar que el Departamento de Justicia
is communicating with
se comunicó con
these state and local prosecutions
funcionarios locales
against Trump.
y fiscales contra Trump.
You can clear it up for us right now. Will the Department of Justice
Ahora le hace la pregunta, ¿el Departamento de Justicia
provide to the committee
le proveyó al comité
all documents, all correspondence
todos los documentos, todos los corresponsales
between the department and
entre el departamento
Alvin Bragg's office and Fannie Willis's office
y el departamento de Letitia James y Alvin Bragg?
and Letitia James's office?
The offices you're referring to are independent offices of state.
I get
Él le dice, las oficinas que tú me acabas de decir son
that. I
independientes.
get that. The question is whether or not you will provide
Esa no es la respuesta, fiscal. Yo le estoy preguntando a usted si usted se comunicó o el Departamento de Justicia se comunicó con la oficina de Alvin Bragg y Letitia James.
all of your documents and correspondence. That's the question. I don't get a history lesson.
Well, I'm going to say again, we do not control those offices. They make
Yeah,
their
the
own
question is whether you
decisions.
communicate with them, not
La pregunta es, fiscal, ¿usted se comunicó o el Departamento de Justicia se comunicó con estas oficinas?
whether you control them. Do you communicate with them and will you provide those
If you
communications?
make a request, we'll refer it to our Office of Legislative
But see, here's
Affairs.
the thing.
They
You
will
come in
respond
here and you lodge this attack, a conspiracy theory that there is coordinated lawfare against Trump. And then when we say, fine, just
Sí, amigos. Esto es explosivo. Se lo voy a compartir a continuación. Lawfare contra Trump. El congresista republicano Matt Gaetz se enfrenta al fiscal general de Biden y le dice, no necesito una lección de historia. Miren esto, señores.
no, wait, hold on, Mr. Attorney General. Did you ever have a family member profit off of the notoriety of any case that you sat over.
Say again,
Yes or no?
You're asking me to comment on a case currently.
Well, it seems you're
before
connecting the
another
dots,
court.
Mr. Attorney General. I'm just asking you as to a general principle, but you are aware that Judge Merchan's daughter was profiting off of this prosecution. You are aware that that creates the appearance of impropriety. You know the very reason there's a federal rule against judges giving donations is because it is the very attack on the judicial process that we're concerned about.
I'm recognized for 5 minutes.
Mr. Attorney General, you've told us that it's a dangerous conspiracy theory to allege that the Department of Justice is communicating with these state and local prosecutions against Trump. You can clear it all up for us right now. Will the Department of Justice provide to the committee all documents, all correspondence between the department and Alvin Bragg's office and Fani Willis' office and Letitia James's office?
The offices you're referring to are independent offices of state.
I get that. I get that. The question is whether or not you will provide all of your documents and correspondence. That's the question. I don't need a history lesson.
Well, I'm going to say again, we do not control those offices. They make their own decisions.
The question is whether you communicate with them, not whether you control them. Do you communicate with them, and will you provide those communications?
You make a request, we'll refer it to our Office of Legislative Affairs.
But see, here's the thing.
They
You
will
come in here
respond
and you lodge this attack that it's a conspiracy theory, that there is coordinated lawfare against Trump. And then when we say, fine, just give us the documents, give us the correspondence, and then if it's a conspiracy theory, that will be evident. But when you say, well, we'll take your request, and then we'll sort of work it through the DOJ's accommodation process, then you're actually advancing the very dangerous conspiracy theory that you're concerned about. Now, you were a judge, once nominated the highest court in our country. When you were a judge, I'm just curious, did you ever make political donations to partisan candidates?
No.
No, and you didn't because that would create the potential appearance of impropriety.
I didn't because there's a federal rule
Oh.
barring federal judges from making contributions.
Right, but under that same theory of attacks on the judicial process, like, shouldn't someone be owed like a jury of their peers and a judge that's non-biased rather than getting a judge from your political opponent's donor file?
I'm well aware that you're not asking a hypothetical. You're asking me to comment on a jury verdict in another jurisdiction which has to be respected. I won't comment on it. That case is still ongoing. The defendant
Mr. Attorney General, I hadn't asked you about the verdict yet. We were getting there. I was talking about the judge. And so let me ask you this question about your time as a judge. Was there ever a time when you were a judge when you had a family member who was personally profiting off of the notoriety of a case that was before your court?
Look, I'm going to say again, it's very clear you're asking me to comment on a case in another jurisdiction.
No, wait, hold on, Mr. Attorney General. Did you ever have a family member profit off of the notoriety of any case that you sat over?
Say again, you're asking
Yes or no?
me, you're asking me to comment on a case currently.
Well, it seems you're
before
connecting the
another
dots,
court.
Mr. Attorney General. I'm just asking you as to a general principle, but you are aware that Judge Merchan's daughter was profiting off of this prosecution. You are aware that that creates the appearance of impropriety. You know the very reason there's a federal rule against judges giving donations is because it is the very attack on the judicial process that we're concerned about.
I'm sorry, I don't agree with anything you just said, but I'm not going to comment on an
Okay,
on an
so you
action
won't
in
comment on
another
it, Mr.
court.
Attorney General, but you had no problem dispatching Matthew Colangelo. Who's Matthew Colangelo?
That is false. I did not dispatch Matthew Colangelo. That's false.
Matthew
False.
Colangelo became the Assistant Attorney General at the very beginning of the Biden administration. Without having been Senate confirmed, goes and gets this senior role at the DOJ, and then after, I believe it's Gupta replaces Colangelo, Colangelo makes this remarkable downstream career journey from the U.S. Department of Justice in Washington, D.C., and then pops up in Alvin Bragg's office to go get Trump. And you're saying that's just a career choice that was made that has nothing to do with the lawfare coordinated by the DOJ.
I'm saying it's false. I did not dispatch Mr. Colangelo anywhere.
Well, do you know how he ended up there?
I assume he applied for a job there and got the job.
But see, you know what?
I can tell you I had nothing to do with it.
Well, you might not have had anything to do with it, but we've got this contemporaneous evidence in Mr. Pomerantz's book. So Pomerantz writes this book, which I'm sure you're aware of, where he says, we put together the legal eagles to get Trump. We got all these folks together and we assembled them for that purpose. And so when we on the Judiciary Committee think about attacks on the judicial process, Our concern is that the facts and the law aren't being followed. A target is acquired, here, Trump, and then you assemble the legal talent from DOJ, Mr. Pomerantz, and you bring everybody in to get him. And meanwhile, the judge is making money on it. The judge is making money on it, or the judge's family is making money on it for stuff that you yourself wouldn't do. You know, no one's going to buy this. No one's going to believe it. It's going to create great disruption. And I am saddened by it because, like you, I have given my life to the law. I care deeply about the law. And I think that the lawfare we've seen against President Trump will do great damage well beyond our time in public service.
Sí, amigos. Y sí, Colangelo trabajó con el fiscal. Aquí está el artículo. El fiscal del distrito de Manhattan contrató a un ex funcionario del Departamento de Justicia para ayudar a dirigir la investigación sobre Trump. El funcionario Matthew Colangelo también trabajó en la investigación del fiscal general de Nueva York sobre el expresidente. Sí, amigos. El fiscal del distrito de Manhattan, Alvin Bragg, contrató a un ex alto funcionario del Departamento de Justicia con un historial de enfrentarse a Donald J. Trump y su negocio familiar, mientras la oficina busca intensificar su investigación sobre el expresidente. El funcionario Matthew Colangelo, quien antes de convertirse en un alto funcionario del Departamento de Justicia, dirigió la investigación civil del fiscal general de Nueva York sobre Trump. Probablemente se convierta en uno de los líderes de la investigación penal del fiscal del distrito sobre el expresidente. La contratación marca el último giro en una investigación larga duración que ha avanzado a trompicones en los últimos años, donde se podría decir que certifica a ciencia cierta que uno de los trabajadores del fiscal general de los Estados Unidos, Merrick Garland, sí se coordinó con la oficina de este señor que están viendo en pantalla, Alvin Bragg y Letitia James. Me gustaría saber tu opinión en la barra de los comentarios sobre lo que le dijo el legislador de Florida al fiscal que lo destruyó en vivo, señores, y le dijo todas sus verdades en la cara de que esto es una persecución política y que todos estos departamentos están coordinados para encerrar a Donald Trump como de lugar. Nos vemos, amigos, en unas horas con un siguiente video importante para todos ustedes. Hasta luego.